Well, we're actually in the wood and it is absolutely really freezing in here. But like I say, I've got a little bit of sweat on because as you can see, it's uphill, so I'm actually working. Bracken, I'm bringing him with me, even though he's an inconvenience as a young dog. I need to get him, acquainted with the practice of what I'm doing here, which is stick harvesting. He is, after all, company for me when I'm out in the woods and doing things like this. Like I said, he's a young pup. He's still getting his feet, shall I say. And things would be a lot faster and easier without him. But that's just the nature of training a young dog. I can already see the first signs of, what you can call spring. A lot of the trees, like hazel ones, have very small buds, and there's that very faint lime green tint to the tips of some of them, which basically means they're kind of starting to activate, get ready to, produce a leaf. They're by no means trying to push and produce leaves, but there's that very faint sign that it's beginning to happen. Boy, it is cold in here. The open sky in the fields actually looks so tempting to go back out into. Now, when there's room to walk and do what Bracken does, everything's fine. It's when I get into the tangled thickets, where predominantly I am, he hasn't learnt to follow my line. He will try to take his own line, which means we both get tangled up. And ultimately, I don't trust him off a lead because there's a big deer population here and I could end up losing him. And I don't see it's worth the risk. And plus he's got plenty of room here and he does his own thing while he's with me. I now have to get up on the bank because very shortly I won't have access to the thicket I'm going to. And where, in looking at it from this point of view, you'll see a big lot of like white haziness. That's sun coming through the trees. And basically I'm heading over there to a thicket on a steep bank. I'm taking this one where there's some deer damage. The deers have stripped the bark there, so I'll take it here, and as it dries I can cut it back another 2 or 3 inches. But I should be able to get a nice stick out of this one, possibly 2. Fair bit of length on this one. See, this has really been climbing towards the sky. I've possibly got 2 sticks out of that, possibly 3. It only gets more tangled and more steep down there. And this is what I'm facing with Bracken. But as you can see, I've got my first 2 pieces of this harvesting session. Just had a few woodpeckers buzzing away up in the trees further on, and they kind of make that sound that you hear in the film Predator, that clicking noise, but it's not clicking, it's like a buzzing sound. But like where they're hammering away really fast and repetitively at the tree, and yeah, it's got that very fast clicking sound sometimes. So it's an interesting noise deep in the woods. I've been home, I've done what I've needed to do at home, and now I've had dinner. I'm shooting out for a second little look around an area I've done 2 or 3 times just to see with new eyes whether I missed anything, and hopefully I will be able to pick up a few more pieces for this harvest today. It's been a day nobody's wanted to do anything, we've had enough to do at home, so I've yet again utilised the time to get a bit more of the harvest done. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can find anything suitable for me to take. And this is what I'm taking, and this just shows you how tight and difficult it can all be. The sun is, if you're a Navy guy, you'd be saying is setting over the yard arm, but I'm still going to continue going till last light, and I've got a long way to go yet through this thicket. Right then guys, I'm doing a little bit of processing before I get home actually, because obviously I have the time. As my stocks are getting to where, you know, not where I want, but I'm getting slightly less panicked about the situation, I'm just spending a bit of time processing it here. You know, it just makes sense. So I'm just going to continue doing that. So like I said, I'm in an area I've done or I've been, and I'm just basically redoing to see if I've missed anything. And you may be wondering what the hurry is and why it seems like I'm against the clock. I'll just show you. So there you go folks, this is pretty much what the rush is about. You can see it here. Sap is starting to move within the trees, and you know, some species are starting to push leaves, and basically it becomes a race, a biological race for these trees to see which one can get the most sunlight and grow faster to outcompete their competitors. But this means sap is moving through the trees now. Well then guys, I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to get a brew on somewhere in a nice little location, not too far away. But I started to break some of my own golden rules, like don't climb for sticks. When it gets to that point, call it a day. I've got about 8 pieces. They're all, I'm going to have to work a little bit harder than I like to produce a stick from them because of bends, knots and things like that. You know, as a stick maker, you're always looking for, when you call a quality stick, one that, okay, pigeons landing in trees above me, haven't seen me, but no, I'm always looking for sticks that require the least amount of work. And that's not because you're lazy, it's because if you're a hobbyist, it's a challenge and you can spend as much time as you want. But if you're trying to produce, you know, a number of sticks, it can become very laborious, and it can tax you as well, you know, having to work with wood that you, every single step of the way you're working hard. So yeah, time to call it a day. And like I said, I was beginning to break some of my own golden rules there. Time for a cup of coffee. Some of you may recognise this place, and you know, it is a favourite of mine. But I've made my way back here, and I don't think that takes too much explanation what I'm going to do. I'm not having a fire because obviously it wasn't about doing bushcraft or anything. It was about getting sticks. So I've just brought the gas burner. Well, look at that, guys. What a sunset. What a way to end a, well, stick harvest. And it doesn't get any better than that sunset. Than doing it with a coffee and a chocolate bread roll. And a sunset.